So I talked to a lawyer, and they told me they recommended me, obviously that I had to get the video footage in order for them to be able to uh, assess the situation or whatever. Um, and get their do their thing, and obviously I ain't never done this before, so I had to ask, how do I go about that? I mean, cause especially because the cops were there, so I didn't know who had the footage. I don't know how the cops handled it. They didn't freaking let me know. So, I didn't know whether the store had the footage or the police did. So, the my lawyer he recommended that I gotta call and get the footage. Figures I'm lit. So I asked. I asked. I made sure to ask. I was like, am I able to do that? Should I do can I do that? Can I just call the store and get the footage? Like, it was like, yeah. So that's what I did. I called the store and asked for the footage. They said they didn't have it. I was just like, all right, well, y'all are screwed. I just said, all right, and then hung up. A couple seconds later, the dude that assaulted me yesterday at the store, it works there, owner, whoever he is, called me on my phone and was like flipping shit, talking about some, you don't know who I am, man. This, that, whatever, this, that. Okay, I'm really not worried about you like that, bro. I'm talking about he's gonna bash my fucking skull in and all this crazy stuff. I'm not worried about him like that. I'm not like scared of him or nothing like that. So I was like, yo, are you gonna make this worse for yourself? And I guess so. He hung up. Um, Interesting. So after that, I called the police because they told they obviously they didn't have the footage. He told me a guy earlier on the phone told me that, and then before the other guy called and threatened me. Beautiful. Thanks. More fuel. Um, and then I called the sheriffs. I called I called and let them know. I was like, yo, man just called me and threatened me. Threatened my life. Well, what y'all gonna do about that? I'm trying to do something about that. Lady was like, oh, so you trying to press something like harassment, something. I was like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to, yeah. And it was like, we're gonna send a unit officer out there somewhere. Nah, nah. What they did was they called me just a little bit ago. Deputy Lawson. He called me. He called me. I made sure I was like I'm petty as crap, man. But look, he called me and I explained the situation to him. I let him know that dude just called me and threatened me. And then also the same guy that assaulted me yesterday or whatever, and his question was, well, do you know who the guy is and this and that? No, I don't know who he is. It's y'all job to know that. Like, I know the store, I know the location. Y'all the ones that came the other day. I don't need that information. I told him that. I was like, I don't need that information. Y'all should have that. I'm just trying. So he was like, well, then I don't know how we're gonna go about. So I was like, whatever. Clearly, you ain't helping. I was like, so how do I go about getting my the video footage then? And how do I go about uh what else? Let me get my yeah. I was like, how do I go about getting the video footage then or whatever, and some crap or whatever. And this man was saying I had to like come in, that the office I would have to see the specific officer that worked that was on that shift or that thing or whatever, and I would have to come in at a specific time. Wednesday. I gotta come in Wednesday in the morning, 9:30 a.m. So I was like, you can't BS me, man. I know I can get my camera foot. If I want the video footage, I can get that. You can't BS me. I don't know why you really need me to. And then, cause he was talking. I don't know. So I was like, so you got another time then? Wednesday, 7 a.m. I'm like, I was like, yo, I told him, I was like, yo, you are playing games with me, man. I was like, yo, well, here's how we're gonna do this. I got a lawyer. I'm going to get that video footage. Um, and because I don't know what the guy was doing on the phone. I mean, I told him, you ain't helping me. You about as helpless as the officers yesterday, and I let him know what happened yesterday or whatever. And then let him know that I'm glad that I told him, I was like, I'm so glad that y'all wear the things or whatever, and that you like to point it out to people too, because I told him, I was like, that's great, because that means I told him that his officer offered me, medical treatment and then denied me it afterwards, and that is recorded, and told him thanks. And then, I went off. I let him know how bad of a job the officers did yesterday. He was like, "Well, I mean, I wasn't there. Yes, I wasn't working, man. I don't know. I don't care. I'm still gonna explain it. I'm still gonna tell you." And he was like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna tell." He was like, "I'll tell the officers, the deputies or the officers that were there working or whatever." I was like, "Yeah, you do that." And then he said, he was saying they'll call me back or something like that, whatever. And I was like, "Will you? Will y'all call me back? Will you? Or do I gotta handle this myself?" Because it doesn't matter what they're clearly not trying to handle. They don't want to. I know they don't, because it's a bad look for them. Why? It's a very bad look.